Hey, everybody. My name is Paul Eston Jr., a.k.a. Boy Green. My producers off screen have informed me that today is, in fact, game day, baby. Let's go. Jets, Bills, Monday Night Football. Let's roll. What? Zoinks. It is unequivocally the Super Bowl for New York Jet fans.
Field Yates, baby. Field gosh darn Yates. Let's bring him on the show.
Come on, people. Connor Rogers is joining the show. What's up, Connor? But Trevor gosh darn Sycamore, baby, for me, personally, my favorite New York Jet of all time.
Wow, it's great to be on. What an intro that was right there.
Paul, nobody does an intro like you, man.
Paul, you give the best intro of literally any podcast that I've ever been.
I'm gonna lose my gosh darn bananas.
Holy friggin' crap. We are finally here. Months of anticipation. This schedule dropped back in May. And week one said Jets, Bills, Monday Night Football. And now we're here officially on game day for the New York Jets and the Buffalo Bills. I'm not believing the words that are coming out of my mouth. But here we are, fans. Wherever you're watching, make sure you show your friggin' love. This is your final game day preview ahead of the game. And of course, we'll be live 2 hours after it to recap it all and also introduce the video hotline for the first time ever. We'll get to talk to some of you guys in person, hopefully celebrating a massive win. Let's bring them in every gosh darn Monday. Matt friggin' O'Leary with the towel waving. What's up, brother?
We made it, baby. Let's go.
Yes.
I can't believe it is finally game day. Most anticipated week one of all time, maybe, right now for our New York Jets.
100%.
This offseason has felt like it's gone on forever, and I just can't wait to finally get into it.
And here's the crazy thing is that as soon as this starts, we all know, as fans and even additionally as content creators of some sort, that once it starts, all of a sudden you're going to blink it's week 8. So I'm really trying to savor every moment because it just gets wild once you get on the ride. And oh my goodness, I mean, the Jets have the chance to make the statement of statements tonight. And I understand we had Thomas Morstead on the show a couple days ago, flex on him, baby. And a couple of days ago, he said it on social media and also reiterated it, which was interesting. We could talk about that in a minute, but he just mentioned that if the Jets win, we're going to the Super Bowl. If we lose, we were a disaster and all kinds of horrible things. He said, despite the fact that I said both those things, neither of those were actually true. We have to be a part of the process. But despite what Thomas said, that's what you have to say when you're on the team. For us out here, to punch the Buffalo Bills in the face, to cap off week one, heading into the Dallas Cowboys game, which I'm seeing people comment in here. Yes, they blew up the New York Giants 40-0, which I think is both a combination of the Giants suck, but also that the Cowboys are really good. In particular, that defense is nasty, which I already knew about, and I will be at that game. So we'll talk about that later. Gosh darn Matt O'Leary, it's Jets Bills. What is the feeling right now? Let me go to the confidence level heading into this game that the Jets are going to find a way against this team to, at the very least, have a great showing. But we care more than a great showing. We care about having more points than the Buffalo Bills. Hashtag analysis.
Yeah, I mean, yes, hard agree there. I am pretty confident today. I'm not going to say that it's going to be a runaway blowout, but I think the Jets match up nicely against this Buffalo Bills team. I'm really excited to see this pass rush really get after it. Last year was really impressive, and then you add a first-round talent in Will McDonald. I think it's going to be a good game, but like you said, earlier on here, it's the overreaction one way or the other. It's coming, whether they win or lose. It's going to be season's over after week one, or it's going to be this is the best team ever. They're going to win the whole god dang thing. But I can't wait to see them finally out there on the field. I think they give us a really nice showing tonight in week one.
And let me just say, for folks who can't properly see, I know we got all this extra. Look at this, baby. Look, oh yeah, I've been waiting to put this on. Aaron Rodgers, baby. Aaron gosh darn Rodgers. And I love the custom with the green digits. The Jets had it on the website. It said, well, don't mind if I dive in. woo, and I dove in there, baby, and I had to jump on that train. So, Aaron, gosh darn Rodgers, I've been wearing. I had to, and I'll say this, just kind of a weird aside. I got some legacy white jerseys because obviously I had to sell my kidney to get as many of those as possible because that's the most important thing in the world, and I have those. But how could you not start with Rodgers? So I had to start with the Black Rodgers, despite what the team will be doing on the field. I just had to do it. And what I wanted to do here, Matt, because obviously we talked even last week, quite frankly, in a level of preview. We've had wonderful Jets and Bills people like Sal Capaccio, the Buffalo Bills sideline reporter, and Jordan McGee, and all these Jets Bills people all throughout the week. What I wanted to do today was play some over-unders with you for this game specifically, not the season. So this game specifically, I'll throw some stuff out there. And what I'm going to use as the basis for a lot of these over-unders is I want to look at that first Jets-Bills matchup. Because if you look at that first one, obviously Buffalo had Von Miller, and the second one, Zach Wilson was out, so Mike White was out. So, and even I think a lot of last season you could probably throw away as opposed to you have Aaron Rodgers now. So it's completely different. But I wanted to use that as the basis because that was as healthy as those teams could have been outside of the AVTs, Brees Halls, and things of that nature. So as healthy as they could be in that matchup without actually really being healthy, which I'm kind of curious about. Now, I want to, so I'll go through a couple of them, folks. For all the people in the audience, feel free to dive in and share your over/under responses as I throw these at Mr. Matt O'Leary here. So feel free to get involved. Over/under 200.5 passing yards for Josh Allen. That's exactly what he had the first time around. What are you thinking here, Matt?
I'm going to take the under here. I don't think the Buffalo Bills are going to come out throwing the ball a ton. In that win that they had, he threw for, it was like a $147. I think it was under 150 yards.
It was, yeah, for Zach Attack, yeah.
Yeah, no, it absolutely was. So I don't imagine that it's going to be this big number for Josh Allen tonight. 180, something like that. So I'll take the under.
Okay. All right. Let me throw another one at you. The first time, again, we're basing all of these over-unders off the very first matchup that the Jets won, by the way, a wink, 20-17. He was sacked 5 times in that game. So I'm going to set the line at 4.5. 4.5 heading in tonight. Over-under.
Oh, I'm taking the over. I'm definitely taking the over on that. I think the Jets defensive line gets after it. I think Quinnen Williams gets involved. I think the nice new edge rushers get involved. Year 2, Jermaine Johnson, Will McDonald, Bryce Huff. I think the defensive line is an absolute problem, especially after looking at the right side of that Bills offensive line. Welcome to the NFL, Osiris Torrance. Good luck. And Spencer Brown is poo. He is not very good. So I think that's going to be a really tough night for them on the right side of the line.
Matt, we talked about this in our pre-production meeting before this started, but obviously when the Cowboys defense went against the Giants, it was so dominant that the Giants could barely run any offense. Like it was like a Division I college team versus Pee Wee, and they were blowing these Giants offensive linemen off. And the only thing I thought in that, not thinking too far ahead for Jets Cowboys, was like, oh my goodness, I hope the Jets defensive line is this disruptive where their presence is known. Because I've told you before that sometimes Jets have had seasons where we've talked up their pass rush, never to this level, but have talked up like, oh, they're pretty good. And then, or talented defensive line. Then they go to a game and then they're non-existent. I'm like, what? And then I'm like left scrambling to explain why that didn't happen. Well, guys, technically it was a hoobada. No one wants any of the technical mumbo jumbo. They want pressures and sacks on the board. So we can, fingers crossed, only hope we get again that level of pass rush going on there. So we talked about the pass game. You seem to lean that the Bills will be running the football a little bit more. Devin Singletary is gone. He was one of, quote unquote, the leading rushers in this game. He only had 24 yards in that contest. And then James Cook was non-existent. Isaiah McKenzie had a reverse. But obviously Josh Allen was the best running back on the Buffalo Bills the first time around. He had 9 carries, 86 yards, 2 touchdowns, 9.5 per clip. And his long one was that 36-yarder around the bend that happened against the New York Jets. Did the Buffalo Bills have a 100-yard rusher over under? And that, I don't mean cumulatively, because again, they had 134 yards last time. Any individual player, Josh Allen, or any player for that matter, will anyone have over 100 yards rushing against this Jets defense?
I don't think any individual will, but I think they will combine for over it. And
Okay.
the runner that I'm most worried about is Josh Allen. I think he had what would you 86 rushing yards that first game? That's a lot.
That's correct.
And then the second time out there, it was like 47 yards, and he had a touch. It was 3 rushing touchdowns in 2 games for Josh Allen. So his rushing ability, I think, is what scares me more than the passing attack in this game. So while I don't think any of them individually go over 100, I think they can combine for that. And Allen's the one that I'm most concerned with running the ball.
All right, let's go to the receiving game. Let's just keep going down the pike. Again, the leading receiver last time was Stephon Diggs, who had 93 yards on 5 catches, his long of 42, which I'm pretty sure was the first play of the game, the first offensive play of the game when they got sauce. Which, by the way, quick aside, before I even ask you the question, Matt, I don't know how many of these Boy Green dailies you've been getting this week, but Sal Capaccio on Wednesday, he's the Buffalo Bills sideline reporter, so he does Buffalo Bills radio out there. And he kept poking us, saying, Stephon Diggs kind of got sauce on that first play. I was giving the business. I was about to highlight the second half stats, but I said, oh, okay. No, that's an interesting point. Fine. So, Bills fans and Bills people have been poking me that Sauce got toasted on that first play. That's kind of been the rallying cry for Bills fans. Thoughts?
Okay, it was the one catch. Like that's going to happen. That someone's really good is when the clip of the one catch they allow just
right
goes viral. So it is what it is. Stephon Diggs is not going to go into the game and come out of it with 0 catches. So it's going to happen tonight. Hopefully it's not a 40-yarder. But yeah, Sauce is going to give up a reception or 2, guys. It's going to happen. It's okay.
Wow. Yeah, I don't really know what to do with that information. I don't like it. I don't want any part of that, but I guess it's just truth serum. So let's go back to the over-under game. 100 receiving yards, over-under. Now, again, last time I mentioned, Stephon Diggs was the leading receiver for the team, 5 catches, 93 yards, and he had 10 targets. He got targeted a lot. And then this just goes to show you the Jets' dominance in the pass defense, and also if you could do math, with the passing number we already said for Josh Allen. The next leading receiver was Gabe Davis with 33. That's a 60-yard drop-off, people, for the math folks in the back of the room. See, Mom, I told you I'd use that on this show. So there you go. Over under 100 receiving yards for any individual player in this game on the Bills side, obviously, because we're doing Bills projection for the Jets.
Under. I took the under on Allen passing. I would take the under on these Bills receivers as well. I think I honestly, this might sound crazy because of how good Stephon Diggs is, but the positional group that worries me more is the 2 tight ends. I am more concerned with Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox. I think that could potentially be a tough matchup for the New York Jets. I just feel a lot more comfortable with the cornerback room than I do comparatively with these linebackers and safeties in coverage. I think they could hold their own against them, but if there's an area where the Bills could attack the Jets through the air, I think it would be with those tight ends up the seam. So more concerned with those 2 than I am with any of the Bills receivers.
Okay, I just want to throw this one out there because this one, it wasn't even on my sheet, but as I looked at it, I'm like, So half a fumble recovered by this Jets defense at some point this entire season. Just a half. Over, under, a half. Because I noticed Josh Allen in this first matchup fumbled twice, and I remember the one in the red zone where it was like punched out, and it bounced literally back to him. He said, I guess I'll run with it. And I was just like, you son of a... I was that guy. So a half of a fumble through 17 games of the regular season. Over, under.
I would hope the over. It feels like,
for God's sakes, please.
I know.
Yes.
It feels like the under, though, right? Because no balls bounce to the New York Jets. It's like, you get a strip sack and it somehow bounces to a running back who picks it up and runs it another 10 yards. Like, just these crazy things tend to happen. But I think defense improves in the turnover department. So, yeah, they fall on a fumble this year, at least once.
And I just hope, which again, this goes to a bare basic level, because obviously it's an oblong shape, bounces in weird ways, especially with the rain, which, by the way, I've heard, I'm not a weatherman, although maybe we'll get a weatherman bit on here. That may be interesting for football's sake, but I believe the rain's all supposed to end before kickoff, so it's supposed to end in the 6:30, 7 o'clock range, what I read early this morning. Although weathermen sometimes say, don't worry, not going to rain. I'm like, okay, great. I guess I won't grab a hoodie. Go outside. It's pouring. So I'm like, what the hell? So I'm not quite exactly sure to Joe Namath guarantee that. But nonetheless, I wanted to make sure that I threw that out there. But like, I go to the Cowboys game last night where seemingly the floor-leaf clover was shoved up the Cowboys' ass. That like, boing, ball bounce up. Oh, okay. Ding. take that. And I'm like, what the hell? And like a magnet, like, oh, yeah, that'll work. So hopefully, I think you could get a very good sense of that at the beginning of the season, whether or not you've given Lady Luck a kiss or not. So again, I'm just curiously, hopefully optimistic that, again, we're going to be getting a little bit of that action as well. So fingers crossed, Matthew. Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed for sure. It would be overdue for the football gods to lean it back towards the Jets a little bit in that fumble department.
All right, I'm curious. Let's jump to the other side. Some Jets-inspired stuff here. The Jets allowed 2 sacks last time. I'll put the number a little bit higher. Maybe I shouldn't, I suppose, because Von Miller was in this game. He won't be in the game. He was in this first game. Again, we're doing our over. I want to keep reiterating that just in case we're having people kind of come in and out of the live stream here and also the audio podcast version. That I'm basing all of these over-unders off the very first game. So whatever those numbers were with a slight alteration. The Jets allowed 2 sacks last time, and we remember one of them was a Von Miller strip sack in the red zone, which was a huge play, but luckily Sauce picked it right back off, so it all evened out at the end of the day. However, I'm going to increase this number to about 3.5. 3.5 sacks allowed by this Jets offensive line, over under.
I take the under, just barely. I think it's I think
Okay.
it's 3 sacks. I think Von Miller not playing in this game is a really, really big deal. That pass
should
rush
be, yeah.
really different for Buffalo last year when he was in versus when he was out. And that's not to say like they're just going to be completely non-existent without Von Miller. I think they will have a presence, but I think the Jets offensive line holds their own. I think another key thing in this game is how quickly Aaron Rodgers gets rid of the football. So I think if they are getting pressure, more often than not, he'll be able to either get it to his check down or throw it away. I think his the time from snap to getting out of his hand is one of the best in the NFL. So I don't see it as something that's going to get out of hand for this team. So I'll take the under there.
Again, another random aside. Wow, how the time changes. Here were the 4 leading rushers for the Jets in that first game. Michael Carter with 76 yards. James Robinson with 48. That's a name. Zach Wilson with 24. Ty Johnson, 17. You notice no Brees. Obviously, he never played against the Bills once last year. And then some guy named Dalvin Cook showed up. I am just tickled by the potential rushing attack because Dalvin sounds like he's phenomenal. He's great. He's got enough practice time. Again, it's a first game for everybody, so that'll be interesting. And man, I'm just going to be honest, Matt. This is a weird aside, but I think I have a weird feeling that Brees is an alien, and he's going to come in the game, and we're all like, guys, let's temper expectations. Sweet Lord, have mercy. And we're just going to like lose our crap and immediately forget ACL. What? We don't need ACLs. Let's all like remove our ACLs from our own legs and throw them out there because we don't need them, baby. Like, whoa, I'm having that weird gut feeling. Maybe that's too over the top, but.
Yeah, my brain says like 8 carries for 40 yards, but my heart says like 15 for $110 and a touchdown. So I would rather it be like what you were just saying there, like where he pops off a big like 50-yard run. And you're going, oh my God, Brees Hall
to the house.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
that would be epic. Because you're right, like he didn't play against Buffalo last year. The names you just rattled off there, it's Ghost of Christmas Past for the New York Jets.
Yeah. Yeah, and it makes you feel good. Let me just ask you, I guess, these ones won't be quite over-unders, but leading rusher in this game for the Jets is who?
I think Dalvin. I think Dalvin Cook has the slight edge. I think they split carry. It's not going to be an exact 50-50 split. I think eventually that's where they get, and then Brees ends up taking over as the leading rusher. But I think Dalvin will have the slight edge, but they will utilize really all 3 of their backs. I do think Michael Carter gets some carries as well. So I don't know if you have a question on it, but I don't think they have any individual go over 100 yards, but I think they combine to go well over that number.
Does Garrett Wilson announce his presence to the NFL tonight in primetime?
I really hope so. I mean, that connection was looking good against the Giants in the 2 drives. So I'm hoping that he gets like, I don't know, 12 targets in this game, just something crazy and a touchdown. That'd be amazing. I think there's a really good chance that Garrett Wilson goes off tonight.
Zach Wilson had 154 yards passing, and the Jets won, by the way. But obviously, you could do the math on this receiving. Garrett Wilson, 92 receiving yards. CJ Uzama, 16 yards, was the next leading receiver. Oh, Denso Mims fans, 1 catch, 12 yards, which, by the way, was actually a pretty important catch on that third down at the end of the game, actually. But nonetheless, good Lord have mercy. I mean, Garrett Wilson did it all by himself, and then there was just a bunch of guys, just a bunch of Randys here, for Pete's sake. I mean, I just don't think people understand, because I've talked to a few Bills people this week, and some of the sense from Bills fans, they believe Aaron Rodgers is washed. So I don't know, man. I am hoping for, and this is too much perhaps, but like Peyton Manning, I believe it was his second season, which ended up, or it was the first or second one, where they opened against the Baltimore Ravens and he threw 7 touchdown passes. And I just went, yeah, that seems like a fair request of Aaron Rodgers. You know what I mean? Like, I just want that.
That'd be nice. Unfortunately, I don't think it plays out that way. I don't think either team really runs away with this. But would I love for that to happen? Of course, I would. I'm talking like 200 receiving yards for Garrett Wilson and 2 touchdowns. Like, let's put the Jets on the map. Why not?
Yeah, my fantasy team would really appreciate that. Although I will be honest, for all those fantasy people out there, this is what I do during games. Matt, are you going to be there tonight? Yes or no?
No, I will not be in attendance.
Okay. I will not be there either. I wish I was, obviously, but I will not be there. But on breaks, I put during the game, once the game starts, I put my phone on Do Not Disturb. I don't care about fantasy. I don't care about anything. The only thing that matters is the Jets. And then once we get to a break, I'm like, all right, what's going on? And then this is kind of a unique case, obviously, because it's a standalone game, so I should know exactly what's going on because I'm watching the freaking game. But nonetheless, so we'll see what happens here. Let's get it in as the final nugget here, because I got to hop off Board Green Daily, the Jets Media Podcast, a brand new thing. I'll be hopping on for Game Day today, so shout out to Richie and Jack for everything they do. So we'll be doing that in a second. Let's put it out there. Matt, what is your official final score prediction that, of course, you'll be held to for the rest of your life? What do we have, sir?
I'm going to say 23-20 Jets in a tight, low-scoring game. I think the Jets match up well against this Buffalo Bills team. I don't think either offense runs away with it, but I do like this Jets team at home to start with the W.
My mama didn't raise no quitter. My mama didn't raise no, you know what I'm about to say. She didn't raise no nothing. Earlier this week, last week, as a matter of fact, I predicted a 31-12 win by the New York Jets. A lot of people thought that was crazy. And after further discussion and embracing reality, I am doubling down on 31 to gosh darn 12, baby. That's exactly what the New York Jets are going to do. And all the Bills people, I can't wait to shut up all the Bills people. All the Bills people say, well, we're going to teach you a lesson. Overhyped. I'm going to show you where I'm going to shove overhyped. Just right up that keister. Oh, I can't wait. That's exactly what's going to happen. And Jets social media is going to be toxic. It's going to be intolerable for other people, not me. I'm going to be drinking. Tasty. That's exactly what's going to happen. So I am doubling down on my gosh darn take. And hey, maybe I'm on freezing cold takes or whatever the hell that's going to be, but I don't give a flying hoot because I don't give predictions, Matt. I give spoiler alerts. I'm looking forward to it. Everybody enjoy game day. Matt, before we get you out of here, what is your kind of game day schedule? What else do you have on the stream, both pre and post game?
Yeah, so I'll be doing a pregame live stream around 6:30 on my channel.
Okay.
At halftime, I hop on with Green Bean and Ryan. We do a little halftime show. Green Bean is live throughout the entirety of the game. So if you want to do a watch along, head over to the Talking Jets channel. And then, after the game, I'll have a video out breaking it down drive by drive, what happened, and recapping hopefully a New York Jets win.
Let's freaking go, Matthew. The next time we talk, we'll be recapping the Cowboys game. That's just how it works with our schedule. So I can't wait for that. Should be a lot of fun. Matt, thanks a lot, man. Enjoy tonight. Enjoy this moment. Enjoy Aaron Rodgers' debut, home opener, Monday Night Football. And they're going to be talking about us all day. I love it. I'm going to be drinking it up. I hope you are too.
Yeah, I mean, you hit it on the head. Jet fans deserve this. So enjoy it. Everyone just sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride.
Again, we will see all you guys later. All of the stream opportunities Matt just talked about on his channel and elsewhere. So, guys, make sure you support all our Jet content creating community. I'll be on again 2 hours after the game is over, and we'll be recapping it with a live call-in line. So, looking forward to that. Enjoy game day. Let's go! I'm so freaking pumped. This is phenomenal. All right, I'll see you guys later. Enjoy.